Granite peaks emerge from clouds in a sweeping drone shot. This mountain doesn't just look like a painting, it is the reason an entire style of painting exists. Welcome to Huangshan, China's Yellow Mountain, one of the strangest, most beautiful landscapes you'll ever see. Huangshan is located in Anhui province in eastern China, a few hours from Shanghai and Hangzhou. It's not one single peak, but a mountain range of 77 named peaks, the tallest over 1,860 meters. The peaks are carved from granite into dramatic, almost vertical spires. For over 1,000 years, Huangshan has been the literal subject of Chinese landscape painting, an entire genre called shanshui, meaning mountain water art. Painters would travel here specifically to study the way mist moves between the peaks, and you can still recognize the exact rock formations in centuries-old paintings hanging in museums today. Wide panoramic shots, pine trees on cliff edges. In 1990, UNESCO designated Huangshan a World Heritage Site, citing both its natural beauty and its deep cultural significance in Chinese art and literature. It's one of the rare sites recognized for inspiring an entire artistic tradition rather than just for its geology. The first time most visitors see Huangshan in person, the reaction is almost always the same. It doesn't look real. Granite cliffs disappearing into white cloud layers, pine trees growing sideways out of solid rock. And that's exactly what we're breaking down next. Locally, Huangshan is famous for what's called the Four Wonders. Here's what they are. Guest greeting pine, twisted pine trees on cliffs. First, the pine trees. Huangshan pines grow directly out of cracks in solid granite, twisted by wind into shapes found nowhere else. The most famous is the guest greeting pine, estimated to be over 1,000 years old, with branches that have been trained and shaped for centuries to extend outward like an open hand welcoming visitors. Second, the rocks themselves. Erosion over millions of years has carved formations with names like monkey watching the sea and flying over the rock. Boulders perched at angles that look almost staged, but are entirely natural. Third, and probably the most photographed, the Sea of Clouds. On the right mornings, mist fills the valleys below the peaks so completely that the mountains appear to float above an ocean of white. This happens most often after rain, particularly in spring and summer. And fourth, the hot springs at the base of the mountain, fed naturally and used for centuries by both locals and visitors to recover after the climb. Historical records mention these springs being used as far back as over 1,000 years ago. Combine all four, and you get the experience most visitors are actually chasing. Sunrise at the summit. Hundreds of people hike up before dawn or stay overnight at mountaintop hotels just to watch the sun break over the sea of clouds. It's considered one of the defining experiences of visiting Huangshan. But Huangshan isn't just scenery. It carries centuries of legend and meaning. The name Huangshan, Yellow Mountain, is tied to legend rather than the actual rock color. According to tradition, it's named after the Yellow Emperor, a mythical ancestor figure in Chinese culture, said to have once cultivated immortality here. Throughout Chinese history, poets, painters, and philosophers have made pilgrimages to Huangshan to draw inspiration, some staying for months at a time. That tradition still shapes how Chinese visitors experience the mountain today. It's not just a hike, it's treated as a cultural and almost spiritual destination. Today, Huangshan remains one of the most visited natural sites in China, drawing photographers specifically chasing that sea of clouds shot, alongside domestic tourists for whom the mountain holds deep cultural weight, comparable to how other countries treat their most iconic natural landmarks. So that's Huangshan, granite peaks that inspired 1,000 years of art, four natural wonders found almost nowhere else on Earth, and a name rooted in legend rather than literal color. It's a strong contender for one of the most visually unique mountain ranges on the planet. Huangshan is one of the most stunning mountains in China. It is also one of the most confusing places to plan for, with 4 different cable cars, multiple entrances, and routes that can take anywhere from a few hours to 2 full days. This is the no-fluff guide to getting it right. Huangshan is located in southern Anhui province, roughly 300 kilometers from Shanghai and about 150 kilometers from Hangzhou. Most international visitors base their trip around one of these two cities. The easiest way in is by high-speed train. From Shanghai, it's about a 3-hour direct ride to Huangshan North Railway Station. From Hangzhou, it's closer to 90 minutes. There's also Huangshan Tongxi International Airport if you're connecting from a city further away with regular domestic flights from major Chinese cities. From Huangshan North Railway Station, you'll need a local bus or taxi, about 60 minutes, to reach Tangkou, the town at the base of the mountain where most scenic area entrances and shuttle buses are located. Most hotels in Tangkou or Tongxi can also arrange transfers if you book in advance. Timing matters a lot here. Spring and autumn offer the most comfortable hiking weather and good odds for the sea of clouds effect after rain. Summer brings more frequent cloud cover, which can be either spectacular or frustrating depending on visibility. Winter is quieter and can include snow-dusted peaks, but some cable cars and trails reduce hours or close temporarily for maintenance. The main scenic area entry ticket covers access to the mountain itself, but does not include cable cars or shuttle buses. Those are booked separately. Prices vary by season, generally lower in winter months and higher from March through November. Booking online in advance through the official Huangshan ticketing platform is recommended, especially during Chinese national holidays when the mountain gets extremely crowded. There are 4 cable cars on Huangshan, and choosing the right one matters. The Yungu cable car on the back mountain is the most commonly used, connecting Cloud Valley to White Goose Peak in about 8–10 minutes. This saves you a multi-hour hike. The Yuping cable car on the front mountain takes you near the famous Guest Greeting Pine and saves roughly 3 hours of climbing. The Shihai cable car serves the West Sea Scenic area and is considered to have some of the best views, while the Taiping cable car on the north side is the least used by tourists. If you're reasonably fit and want the full experience, hiking up one route and taking a cable car down, or vice versa, is the most common strategy. Full hikes involve thousands of stone steps and can take 4–6 hours one way, so budget your energy accordingly, especially if you're also planning to catch sunrise. Inside the scenic area, shuttle buses connect the different entrance gates to the cable car stations. These typically require a separate ticket as well, so factor that into your budget when planning the day. Now, let's talk strategy, because how you plan your route changes the entire trip. 635 one-day versus 2-day trip comparison graphic, day trippers versus overnight guests. You can technically see Huangshan's highlights in one long day, up via cable car, hit the main viewpoints, down before dark. But if you want sunrise over the sea of clouds, you need to stay overnight at one of the mountaintop hotels, since the first shuttle and cable car up usually doesn't run early enough to catch it. Mountaintop accommodation is basic compared to hotels in town. Expect simple rooms at premium prices, since everything has to be transported up the mountain. Book well in advance, especially in peak season, because rooms sell out fast and there's no walk-up option once you're already up there. A few essentials: wear proper hiking shoes. The stone steps get slippery, especially when wet. Bring layers, because temperature drops significantly at the summit even in warmer months. Carry cash and your passport, since foreign visitors typically need ID to purchase tickets. And bring a headlamp if you're hiking before sunrise. Trails are dimly lit at best. So to summarize, get there by high-speed train from Shanghai or Hangzhou. Book your entry ticket and cable car online in advance. Pick your route based on fitness and time, and if sunrise is the goal, book a mountaintop stay early. Get those pieces right, and Huangshan delivers one of the most rewarding mountain experiences in China. If this helped you plan your trip, hit subscribe. More practical China travel guides coming soon. Drop your travel dates in the comments and I'll help answer any specific questions. See you in the next one.